Instagram and YouTube. Y'all come on in. I'll give you a few seconds, and I'll let you know what's going on because I'm streaming in a different location because I have to be in front of my desktop because it has been a very interesting morning. I'll tell you real quick why it's been interesting. Hello, hello. So a lot of you may not haven't even got a text or a email or something. It has been uh, very interesting. So if you see me looking up, I'm looking at my computer because I am on a chat, but it is not. It's like an Instagram chat here. Uh, Okay, so like I thought, I've been on here for a while for this chat. I'm gonna move Instagram really quick. Okay, okay. I'll tell y'all what's going on. I've been up since like 6 and I feel like I've gotten nothing done. And it's raining outside. But the show is still gonna go on. So let me just give y'all a little bit of motivation. When things don't go like they're supposed to, the show still goes on. You just keep going. Um, Sorry, y'all. Okay, but yeah, that's just a little bit of motivation. Hello, hello everyone on Instagram and YouTube. But yeah, when things don't go as you plan, sometimes they won't. You still have to just keep going, y'all. Just keep going because I feel like I have gotten nothing done this whole morning since I've been up at 6:30. But that's okay. Sometimes it's like that. I remember reading an email a long time ago that when things don't go your way, it may be that's just not where you need to be at the time. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Thank you all so much for your patience and for sticking with me as I go through the customer. We'll say customer chat because you don't really get to talk to anyone anymore. It's just always it's either like a chat or you either have to send in an email. So that's what we're doing. So I guess that's what it is. It's chat customer service now. Oh yeah, I woke up to rain. It was thundering yesterday and then we just got maybe like 10 minutes of rain, but I woke up to rain this morning. It stopped. I went out and tried to harvest a little bit of what I could. We harvested some roselle. I couldn't harvest any butterfly pea flowers. I actually started harvesting some of my moringa and I'm going to let that dry. So if you're not sure about moringa, we grow that as an annual each year. It gets a really tall tree. Is tropical. A lot of people use it, put it in smoothies, put it in, or they dry it and put it like in a capsule. And so that's what we're doing. I love it. And I love growing it. And it is a fast grower, very fast grower. But when it gets cold, then it goes away. And I have to plant it from seed every year. I know. Yeah. And I think it's supposed to rain all year long. I mean, all year, not all year, all week long. So that's another thing. Okay. So Granny Goosey, you use moringa for your arthritis. Yes. I've did some research on it and it's like, I think it's called the Tree of Life. But I remember looking for, I got some seeds maybe like a couple of years ago and it was great. It was great. We used it last year and so we grew it again. I had a few more seeds left over. I'm hoping that the seeds will, it looks like I'm seeing seeds start to form on there and I hope so that I can save it. But it really is good. Now, Granny Gooser, do you do it as a capsule or do you do it as a tea? Because I've been starting to see the tea as well for moringa. So yeah, I harvested a little bit of that. And then what else? I didn't want to I'll tell you what else I did. Since it's been raining so much, a lot of my tomatoes have been cracking. with all the rain. So I went out and harvested the ones that were blush. We got, I think it's Cherokee Purple growing, and maybe it was a brand by, it was one by Proven Winners that we grew. Okay, so you take capsules from the loose powder. Yeah. Yeah, I really like that. I really do like the moringa, and I'm starting to see it more and more on the shelves. So um it's good to be able to grow some. I was going to grow it, use a little bit in the smoothies, and then dry the rest once it starts to get cold. So whatever we got left, we'll dry that. And I really am hoping that we get some seeds to start on there, so that way we could put the seeds online and share it with those of you who want to grow. That's what I try to do every year. That's where the butterfly pea flowers came from. We try to save our seeds from our roselle. We had a few more seeds, but we're trying to offer more and more on the website. We are in Georgia. I always tell people Savannah, Georgia, because that's where people can. It's like a, what do you call it? Like a geographical point for them, like Savannah. So we're about maybe 30 minutes from Savannah, Zone 8B. Hello, Yankee sister. How are you? So thank you, y'all, for the patience. Okay, so the chat has ended. I have to wait 24 hours. I don't even want to tell y'all how long I've been chatting. But that was my motivation for today. So when things don't go like you plan for them, just keep going. Just do what you can. Don't get stressed out. Just do things like that, because that's just what it is. And I see that I'm growing and getting better and better by like not even worrying about it. Good thing is I'm off today, so we're going to go ahead and get started. So if you have been with us, we've been talking about things that you may throw away as you're cooking, as you're doing different things in your home that can actually be used to build your soil. So we still have part 1 and part 2 up. So make sure you go back and watch that. I actually think today is part 4, y'all. I think I put part 3 in the, I'll change it when I'm done. But today is part 4, because go back and look, but we talked about things like coffee, regular coffee. So if you normally throw your coffee away, and I do regular, some people have asked me about the flavored ones, but I've only done like the regular coffee. You can go to like your local coffee shop, tell them to save those coffee grounds. So we use things like coffee, but like I said before, be careful, because coffee can sometimes maybe turn your soil a little bit more acidic. But if you have alkaline soil and you need to kind of neutralize it, then that would be great. We also talked about bananas. And we talked about eggshells on Friday. So we are on part 4, y'all. We're part 4, not part 3. So part 4 today. This is what I do, and I use this a lot in my vermicomposting. And I know we have some new faces here. So the vermicomposting is a way of composting, but you're using worms to break it down. And before we get started, make sure that you text the word "Let's Grow," LETSGROW, to 474747. So text "Let's Grow" to 474747 so you can be notified when we're going live, when we're having specials, when we're having freebies. We just did our freebie for our email list and our text message list. And so if you're on Instagram, click the second link in our bio, get the free pest control guide checklist. So that was like a free Friday where we have a checklist, and it came because so many people are having problems with pests. We're having like different weather, different things. And so we went over some things that you could do to kind of control these pests in your garden. So make sure you go ahead and download that. And on YouTube, once the video is rendered, I will put it in the description. I'll put it in the description on the other one too. I have not been up on my game with updating YouTube, because somebody's reached out to me and asked me where something was, and I was like, I got to update that. So I'm going to put everything in the description, but make sure you go ahead and download that. So today, let me tell you what I use to build my soil. So y'all know I drink a lot of tea, pretty much maybe 2, 3 cups a day, definitely at night. So I will use those tea leaves, the different tea leaves. A lot of times loose tea, and I have like biodegradable bags, and I will make like my own tea blends. But what I do is I will make sure that I use those tea bags once everything's done steeping and I'm about to throw them away. I do not throw them away. I use them in my vermicomposting pile. But I feel like you can also mix in those spent, we'll call them spent tea leaves because they're done brewing. You can mix those into your soil also to give the soil nutrients as well. So we talked about, like things that we normally throw away: the coffee, the eggshells, the banana peels. Now, the banana peels, someone gave us a great idea. Hello, Growing with Donnie. How are you? Somebody gave us a great idea with just basically letting them, you can either dehydrate them and just kind of ground them into a fine powder. You can let them kind of soak in water maybe for 24 hours to get out some of those nutrients. But someone did reach out and said that they sometimes had fungus gnats with the banana peels. So I'm not sure. I haven't had a problem because I definitely put them on my compost pile. But these are still things that you could do, and I always research for my area as well, just to see. But the tea leaves, I definitely use those for the vermicomposting tea. Okay, so Yankee Sister said onion skin, veggie scraps minus the seeds. Absolutely. The veggie scraps and the onion skins are very good as well. But do y'all understand how a lot of things we just throw away? Like these things come from the soil, like they come up, they emerge from the soil, and so we can put them back in to continue building our soil. Because I know y'all probably say I sound like a broken record, but what I'm telling you is the main thing is building your soil. Once you start to build your soil, I really feel like you will start to notice a difference in the way your plants are performing. You'll probably notice a difference in the different pests if you have them. Like once we build up the soil, because the soil needs all type of nutrients in them. I mean, it's just like us. Like we need vitamins and minerals, so our soil needs vitamins and minerals as well to be able to perform the way we want them to perform. So a lot of things that we just constantly put in the trash, we can start using these and building our soil. Now, just like I talked about on Friday, like the eggshells, what I will do is we run them through the microwave so that if it's any like bacteria or something going on with that, we'll do 2 minutes. But what I do after that is I put them in the blender and I grind them up into a powder, so that way it doesn't take that long to break down. And then you're adding like calcium and magnesium back into your soil. The same thing with the tea leaves. Like we'll throw even the tea bags, like the biodegradable tea bags, like we'll throw them away with the tea, but you can actually use that to continue building up your soil. So I know, I'm sorry y'all that I keep saying build your soil, but it's true. I think the number one thing is to make sure your soil is right, and then your plants are going to thank you for it. They're going to thank you for it by thriving and just like really growing the way that you want to. So if you drink tea, or use the loose tea leaves, start saving those, put them back into the soil, because they will also provide your soil some nutrients as well. It's all about just building that soil, y'all. It really, really is. And I will tell you now, for all of us who can go ahead and start fall gardening, go ahead and get your soil tested. Get your soil tested, because this is what I used to do. Like I would get my soil tested. I would put in what because we're in Georgia, I would put in what the University of Georgia recommended. And then I like to always continue to get it tested, because what I'm looking for is over time, I want that soil to be able to keep improving. So even though they may tell me to put certain things in, I'm hoping that each season is less and less because I'm trying to build my soil like organically. Now, the nutrients that they tell us to put in, I do try to put it in like organically as well. But the goal is to build the soil. And so that's why every fall I'll get my soil tested. I'll kind of compare it to what they said it was last year, because here what they'll do is they'll send you the information by email. And so I just look at, okay, is the soil getting better? Is the soil improving each year? Now, every year, that's why I tell you, be careful, because we do have acidic soil, perfect for growing blueberries. But every year I do have to put in lime. And I mean, if you look at our soil, it does. It looks just like sand. It looks just like sand. So I just continue to compost. I continue to buy compost and do those different things. Good morning, Hollyette 19. Good morning, the stay-at-home mom. How are y'all doing this morning? But I just try to continue to build the soil. And that's why I'm telling you, like, the things that we normally throw away, we can put that back in the soil and we can continue to build on that soil. And that's what it's about, y'all. That's what you'll always hear me say. If you don't have any diseased plants, you can return their waste to the compost pile. Yes, you can. Thank you for saying that, Yankee Sister. Yeah, if your plants are not diseased, when you get ready to pull them up, you can definitely put them on your compost pile, because all it's going to do is break down, put the nutrients back in, and continue doing it. If you burn a diseased plant, is that biochar that you can use? Now, I'm not going to lie, growing with Donnie, I do not know. I'm not sure. So the question is, if you burn a diseased plant, is that biochar that you can use? That one, I'm not sure. But I always write stuff down. Let's see. Okay, a diseased plant with biochar. That's good information. I'm telling y'all, I can go down a rabbit hole just online, going through my gardening books, looking back at, just looking at different things online. Lime, yeah, lime, like the granulated lime, or what I use is like the dolomitic. It's called is it dolomitic lime? Because the dolomitic lime also has like calcium and magnesium in there. But Granny Gooser, we have acidic. I wouldn't use anything from a diseased plant. Okay, so IG said they wouldn't use anything from a diseased plant. But yeah, the lime, we use the dolomitic lime because each year, I mean, it's gotten better. I remember my soil was like 5.5 one year, and like on the paper they put, anywhere between like 6.5 and 7.5, just kind of like a neutral environment. But remember, I give them exactly what I want to plant. So for what I am planting, which I told them herbs and leafy greens and flowers, so they recommended 6.5 to 7.5. Now, again, if you're growing things like blueberries, azaleas, they tend to like gardenias. They tend to like slightly acidic. But with me giving them exactly what I was looking to grow, like each year, they'll tell us to add a little bit of lime. And I always take different parts of the garden and send it in. And I think one was 5.5, one was 6.2, and one was like 6.0. But yeah, lime is something that I just put in. I just put it in over time. Yes, soil amendment is number one, and that's true. And that's why we're using like different things from the kitchen. I just went out there the other day. We had kale. I cut up the stem small and took that out there to the worms to break down over time. But those are things that can go back into your soil, and it is like healthy soil is the number one thing that you want to start working on. I'm telling y'all, you'll see a difference. I wish that when I first moved here, if I could really, and I probably do have pictures from like when I first started, and then like now, it's just, that's why you'll always hear me say gardening is a journey, because the journey that I have went on, it's been a good one, and it's been a learning journey. And that's why I tell people, like, I'm still When you garden, you are forever going to learn, because that's why I like our environment and our group, because when we get on these lives, you see how we're all learning from each other. Like everyone does things a little bit different, and we can take that, because that's where I got the banana tip from, where they dehydrated the banana and then like ground it up into a powder and then used it. And so we just all glean from each other, learning different things. Like, and that's why I also love talking to older gardeners too, because a lot of things that they used to do, like they didn't have access to a lot of stuff that we have access to. So sometimes you have to like take it back to, okay, now they were growing beautiful gardens, so what were they doing? And I'm telling you, everybody that I know, even like even the things that I used to see my grandmother doing and did not understand why she was doing it, like it was all, when I look back on it, it's all going into building the soil. Like she was building the soil the whole time, making sure, she watered deep, just different things like that. But that's why I can tell you that the internet has really brought so many of us together, and then we can just like share and exchange ideas and see what one person is doing like in one part of the country versus another. Like that's what it's, I love getting on here talking to y'all, because I am learning too. Like I'm still learning different things that I may have not known had we not have like social media. So that's what it's all about to me. And but I will say it's about building the soil. Okay, I was just curious. Okay. Good morning, Betty. How are you? So yes. So we are part 4. I know I'm going to change the title, y'all. We're part 4. We got one more part. But yeah, go back to the other videos. But just to give you a breakdown, we talked about coffee. We talked about eggshells. We talked about banana. And today, like if you drink, tea, and those tea, put all of that stuff back into the soil. Just really start to be mindful when you're preparing dishes and doing things in the kitchen. Be mindful, like, can I use that to build my soil? If the answer is yes, then, then just start making subtle changes to do that. Like my family knows right now, if you cook an egg, do not throw that eggshell away. Even my husband now, he's like, where's the bowl for the eggs? Because I have a bowl that sits in the kitchen. And when I get enough, I'll put them, like in the blender and blend them up. And then I have a bag with just crushed eggshells. That's what it is. Crushed eggshells. And you're putting those nutrients back into the soil, and get your family involved in it too. That's why I say, like, even if you want to compost, we think of like the big thing. You don't have to have a really big space to compost. It's all different ways to compost, and all of that goes back into building the soil. That is what it is all about, y'all. I need to test my soil because my beds are 20 years old. I have always composted. I bet you got some very good soil too, Yankee sister. I am quite sure that you do. The reason why I start, and that's why I love talking to gardeners, because I'm going to tell you, like when we were overseas, I didn't get it tested, but it was something that it just was not growing. And I was just like, what is going on? I just don't understand it. And so I was talking to like a coworker who had been here, and like his grandfather had a big garden every year and this, that, and he's the one that said, contact your local extension office. They do soil tests. Get your soil test and see what they say. And ever since then, that's what I've done, and I have started to see a big difference in it. But yeah, and so that's why, and the things that I learned, that's why I love sharing them with y'all. And that's what we do about it. What do you think about the peat-free products? I am trying something new in the fall. Is it the peat-free, like the soil? Or not the soil, well, soil peat-free. So is it like something that you can grow in, like a growing medium? Because y'all know I'm always like trying I'm trying something new all of the time. And I'm waiting for that one, peat free. If I'm not mistaken, I think that I have tried like a soil, like a growing medium, a seed starting medium that was, I want to say, peat free, if I'm not mistaken. And I didn't have any problems with it. I liked it. Yeah, peat free. That's what I thought. I think I've tried like the I want to say the seed starting mix was like peat free, but I would definitely. And you know why I would try it, and I'm glad that you're trying it too, because just the way our soil is these last few years, and like, you know how I was listening at someone who said that the soil. Yes, thank you, the stay at home life. Yeah, tag me in it so I can see it. This guy gave a very interesting point. So he was saying things, our soil is changing because like 50 years ago, an apple had so many nutrients versus, like, I think he said that to get the nutrients that we needed from one apple 50 years ago to the apples that are growing today, you would need to eat like 5 of them to get those same nutrients. And so I know it's a lot of studies and different things about that, because I do feel like over time, yeah, we're going to have to get some alternatives growing as well. We really are. Let me go through the comments really quick until we will definitely have a food for it. You know what? Growing with Donnie, that's what I'm working on too. Y'all, I'm seriously like just working on some things, and I've just been looking at all the stuff I want to plant and do, because I think we're going to need it, a food forest. I was looking at plants, y'all, at like 2 something this morning. I was like, if you don't go to bed and stop looking at this stuff like this. I have Old Spice jars so I can store my dry herbs. My boyfriend is always asking me, do you need this? Yeah. But you know what? At least they're listening though. Yeah, that's good. I know y'all know my husband is always giving me side eyes like, you need to get rid of some of this stuff. But I keep telling him, you're going to be thankful. You will be thankful. But I get it. Like, he doesn't, I told my husband why I save the eggshells and why I grind them up. And I think that's good, because they understand that although they don't, it's not that they don't agree with it, but it's like, you know, like my husband told me, I know that you love to grow. So if it's something I can do, I'll do it. I mean, now don't ask him to pick weeds and, go out there. I can tell him to help me do something, but, I can't keep him out there that long because he'll get started. But it's good that they just have it in their mind. It's good that they have it in their mind that they're asking you these things. So they're aware that you love to grow. And I think that is amazing. Like, they're just like supportive on another level. Now, when it comes to hands-on, no. But I know that he'll say, do you want these eggshells? Or where's the bowl at that you want me to put? Or he'll say, do you want to save this? Stuff like that. Like if he's doing something in the kitchen, he'll be like, do you need to save this? So I appreciate that. I'm low-key starting a homestead without telling my husband. Yeah, I'm telling you. I really want to ask him to do one thing, but I know I'm just like, wait till next spring. Don't do it for fall. Just wait till next spring, because the way this grass is growing, y'all, he's having to cut the grass like seriously every 3 or 4 days. It's been raining so much. It really needs to be cut right now. Like, I am walking and looking to make sure that I don't see anything I'm not supposed to see. You know what I mean, y'all? My shirt, yeah, crazy. I know I got a hat that says, I think it says either plant lady or crazy plant lady. One of them. I'm sure tomatoes are the same way. Yeah. Yes. You know what? Let me tell y'all this. I know I told you I wasn't going to keep you long, but since I'm done with the with the chat support, let me tell you this. I just did a presentation for you all that was on here Friday. I did a presentation for my dad and stepmom church. They have a health fair every year, and we talked about gardening. And one of the things on my slide that I shared with them is, and I've shared this before. And I use tomatoes as an example. A lot of tomatoes are picked way before it's ripe, and then it's sprayed with something so that it's very slow to ripe. So what that means is the nutrients have not developed all the way when it's picked like that, and then you spray it with something that will cause it to just like really ripe real slow. And that's one of the things that we talked about. Like, a lot of things are picked at the wrong time. They're picked too early. And so the plant can't develop all of the nutrients. And that was one of the reasons I was telling people, I know we associate with having a garden as like a big space, but if you can just grow one or two plants and always grow what you like, just to supplement, just to see the difference in taste. I also shared with them that carrots were something I just never understood what people were talking about until I seen a package about 5 years ago that, y'all know the kaleidoscope carrots that have like the purple, the orange, the yellow, the white. And so I just looked at the package of seeds and I said, oh my gosh, these are so pretty. I would love to just have. I even said to myself, I don't even like carrots, but I would just love to pull these carrots up. Ever since I grew my own carrots, I then realized this is why people like carrots. Like, they were so sweet, and when I roasted them, they seriously taste like sweet potatoes. So now carrots is something that I always grow. As a matter of fact, I'm about to get ready to start some seeds of carrots, because the carrots that I got out of the store, I just didn't understand. Like, okay, but once you grow it and you really understand them, you'll want to keep growing it. I'm telling you, never really like I would eat carrots, like the shredded carrots, because I wanted to check that off my list that I was eating healthy, y'all. So let me put some carrots on my salad, the shredded carrots, because you get you some orange vegetables in. But once you grow your own, so if y'all haven't started, just try to grow some and see if you can taste the difference. And so that's what I was telling them as well. Just grow one thing you and your family like. See if you could taste the difference on it. It's true, because our soil is depleted. Yeah, I think Dr. Gundry, I was looking at something that he had on there. Yeah, the soil. That's why we got to build it back up, y'all. We have to build it up as much as we can, because the nutrients are being depleted in there. And that's why I try to encourage organic gardening, because you put those nutrients back in there, and then like the chemicals, because some of those chemicals can actually, like change the composition of your soil as well. When you just keep putting chemicals into your soil, you're not building it up. It's like a band-aid, for the problem, like the chemicals that we spray on the plant. And that's what I tell people, like, it's like a band-aid fix, but I think if we focus on building the soil, then we will see a dramatic difference. All my family know better. They automatically say compost for me. Right. Get the whole family involved. I'm telling you, like, they will know. And you know what, Yankee sister, I think they will they appreciate it too. And they appreciate what you're doing. Like when you say, your grandkids, they're eating strawberries, they're eating lettuce. Like, I just told somebody the other day what was happening. I said, what people don't realize is little kids remember like certain things like that. Y'all always hear me talk about my grandmother and like gardening. And then she had like she always grew greens like in the back of the storage house. Like, little kids, I know that they can't retrace everything that happened throughout their life, because I surely can't, but I can retrace some of those important things. And like Yankee sister, I'm telling you, your grandkids are going to remember. They're going to remember that. And then when they start tasting food that, is different, they're going to be like, this is not how it's supposed to taste. He just stole my 2 newest houseplants for his off. Oh, good. That's good, growing with Donnie. That's right. Don't be mad. Like, if they're getting into the plants, do not be mad. I'm encouraging. Like, hey, you need some more, because, like the plants for your office, we have plants inside. It's like a automatic filter, inside. And that's what I tell them. I was like, look, we're going to have some house plants. And so y'all see this plant back here. We got to get that's cleansing the air. Yeah, Baker Creek does have some beautiful carrots. Baker Creek gets me because sometimes they have like, where they donate stuff, like they'll donate the proceeds to a certain organization. They just got me I would say about 3 weeks ago, the stay-at-home mom. And I don't know. It's like I blank out when I order seeds because I was like, did I order this? Yeah, I did. And I want to say, I think I ordered like is it like the black carrots with the orange inside or the purple carrots with the orange inside? Just ordering stuff I have no business doing, which is why I want to expand again. But I gotta just be right. And then I went ahead, and that's what it was too, the stay-at-home mom. Like, you could go ahead and pre-order the big catalog. You could pre-order that for $10. And so I was like, might as well get some seeds while I'm at it. Just go ahead and get you some seeds. And then the big catalog is really informational. I just like reading and looking at the origin of different plants, where they come from. And they just have some good things in there that I like reading. By the way, my brother got his tomatoes, peppers, and cucumbers. I know he was so excited. I'm telling you. Oh gosh, I know he was. I bet he was. Yeah, try something new each year. Like I love trying a different variety, and different things like that. Just try something new. Yes, and the Asian greens. I'm trying to see if I have the envelope. I may have it by me. Wait just a second, y'all. Hold on. Yeah. I know this, we're talking about soil, but the stay-at-home life. Yeah. I just and I want to say I didn't need any more peppers, but I'm going to show y'all this. It was a pepper they gave. Okay, so it's on the back of the thing. See, I don't know why. Like, I'm a big reader. So this particular pepper, I'll show it again. This particular pepper, it was a beloved heirloom of a Philadelphia African-American community in the 1900s. So it's like an ornamental pepper that changes color. So I was like, that looks good to grow. And it's not hot. It's not hot, but I just looked at the origin. I'm like, okay, heirloom, African-American Philadelphia community. You know what? Why not? Why not get it and try it out? And then now I'm not going to show y'all all I got. But I will show you a couple of things. I always love tatsoi. So if y'all haven't tried that, I always love tatsoi. That is a very good green to try. I had that last year, but it was a new, the stay-at-home life. It was a new leafy green that I got. And we got some beans too. Was it this one? It may have been this one. It was like a Chinese cabbage. Y'all I gotta get myself, I really do gotta get myself in order. But I like it because they always give you free seeds. So they'll give you a pack of free seeds as well. And we just got, y'all know I'm a lettuce lover. So we had to get some more lettuce. We had to. Like, I'm about to plant lettuce this week. But I could have sworn it may have been the other one. Because I've ordered from Baker Creek maybe like 3 or 4 times this year. I'm telling you. Somebody's going to get some. And for those who... no, this is what it was, the stay-at-home life. It was this green right here. It was something new. And they said it was a mix. And I think the origin was Japan. And I was like, I've stayed in Japan before. Let me try those because I don't think I've tried them. And a lot of them are... but the one thing I always love, this is a good collard. It's like a cabbage collard, but if you haven't tried Morris Head collards. Now, this is what my family gets. This is what I give away to them like every year. When they come down, because my mother-in-law, when I tell you, just like I love salad, she loves collards. And so I always have to grow some for her. I have to grow some for my mom. And sometimes my sister will come down and get some. So we're going to start those up too. But I always have to grow collards But yeah, Baker Creek, I tell you, just don't hold off on all the specials, Baker Creek, if you watch this, because I really do need to. I really need to get organized with my seeds because I want to use the oldest ones first before I even break open the new ones. So let's see here. Uh, Growing with Donnie, don't feel behind on fall sowing. Because what I will tell you is I feel like I'm behind too, but it's all going to work out. It's all going to work out. It's just been, to me, like right now, it's just been so much rain and I don't know. It's just been so much rain and the grass is growing and I just haven't been able to get out like I want to, but it's all going to come together. Like it'll all come together and it'll all be fine. I just got my 2022 almanac. Was it last week? So I want to read through that and I want to see what they say the weather is forecasted to be here. So I definitely want to do that. I just, some days I'll get on the bed and put my feet up, y'all, and just read and just read. But I do want to see that. It's just always good information. I'm learning. Yes, I am with you, Growing with Donnie. That is one of the best ways of learning. So Growing with Donnie said, I wish I had the opportunity to grow with my elders. I'm learning now how much they loved it. And then like how much it's amazing, like what they had to work with. And it's still, they still was successful with it. And then I'm not sure about y'all, but like with my grandmother, it was all like a community thing as well. So that's why I always can remember, like my grandmother would always grow like greens. She particular collard greens. But then, I remember my grandfather, like somebody grew greens and then he would come home with like a bushel of peas or something like that. So it was like the community was, you grow this, I'll grow that, and then we'll just kind of barter and exchange with each other. But I'm telling you, it was amazing to watch. It really was. It is really amazing to watch. And I'm telling you, Growing with Donnie, that's why somebody's about to get some of these tomatoes, because I'm like, now I'll probably I'm thinking about canning some, but I cut off a whole lot today because I'm like, if it's gonna rain all week like this, then I know, because a lot of the tomatoes had split. It's just been so much rain, so I'm just gonna let them finish ripening right here on the kitchen counter, and they're nice and blush. Like it's like they're almost there because this is the black Cherokee purple, I want to say, so it's not gonna get like the red that we see or the tomatoes. But I'm just so thankful to be able to harvest. And every year I just say I want to kick it up a notch. I just want to kick it up a notch. The black nebula carrots, I think that's what it was. They just look exotic to me. They just really look exotic. Hello, Callie Homestead with Pooh Bear. How are you? Like the fish pepper, I'm gonna look for that pippin pepper. Yes, I'm telling you, they get me. And I could just sit on here for forever just looking at, like, sometimes I have to tell myself, get up, because you have stuff to do. I have been hearing a lot about the Moor's Head collard. Yes, and it's actually like a cabbage, but it tastes just like collard greens. And I know they call it cabbage collards, but they're very good, and they do good for us each year. Now I grow different types. But that particular one, I've never had a problem with it. I really haven't. And they just grow so beautiful. They really do. Let's see. I'm just going through the chat right now, y'all, on YouTube, and then I'll look at the ones on Instagram. I plant peppers in August to overwinter for next spring. I just cover them with the hard plastic cover. I hope everyone is overwintering peppers. Josie B, I just read that. I read that somewhere too. Let me tell you where I read it. On the website, because there is a tomato that's called Everglades tomato, I think, that can pretty much, like, just for us here in Zone 8B, that can pretty much almost grow most of the year. But what it does is you let some of the tomatoes like self-seed, and then it'll like come back up the next year. But yeah, I hear a lot of people bringing in their pepper plants to bring in. Or like you said, just cover it up depending on where you're at and let them overwinter. Transitioning time in garden can give you, yes, it is. Transition. Let me read what Yankee Sister said because I want to elaborate on that, and I'm elaborating on it because this is how I feel right now. So transition time in gardening can give you anxiety. Just slow down. Everything does work out. Don't lose your spirit. Yeah, because I'm starting from seeds, and like I told y'all before, I'm not going to plant everything all at once. So I'm going to succession plant because right now, when I tell you most of my peppers are doing great, they're doing beautiful. And I get like anxiety because I need that space, but my peppers and my tomatoes are doing good. I have gotten some grow bags to start some of my greens in as well while the peppers finish out. But yeah, that's why I say just don't, she's right. Don't have anxiety. Don't feel like you're behind because I know I should have had a couple of things growing like at the end of July. But I just look out of the window and I'm like, oh, those tomatoes look so good. Look how the plant is growing. And I'm like, ooh, but I need some space. And ooh, I need this. But we're going to kick it up with grow bags this year. And then I'm going to succession plant. So as opposed to me planting 12 collard green plants at one time, I'm just going to do them in like 2 or 3 week increments. So I'll start seeds for maybe like 3. And then, 3 weeks later, start some more seeds so that as I'm harvesting, then I can go ahead and pop some in the ground as well. Because I do. I get so, when I start doing that, then I'm like, what other way can I expand? I need to expand. We don't need all. That's what I said. I'm like, we don't need all of this grass. Like, I really want a 30-foot row of nothing but lettuce. I'm like, we don't need all of this grass. But yeah, so I get it. I started a partial shade. I saw that the stay at home life. I am loving what you're doing with those peppers. Those are so beautiful. That's okay. Don't shake your head because the partial shade garden, that's wonderful. I think that is amazing. That is so, so amazing. So yeah, let's just keep doing what we are doing, y'all. I'm telling you, it's nothing wrong with what we are doing. Let me be the first to tell you, it's nothing wrong with what we're doing. We're growing things. We could be doing a lot of other stuff, but all we're doing is just growing. So nothing wrong with that. Okay, so Yankee Sister over winter, and she had, oh wow, they're performing better. I store in my garage, covered with plastic, too cold to leave outside. Okay, yeah, because I know you're in Connecticut. Wow. Hello, Big Mama's Garden. Yeah, that's okay. I told you, Big Mama's Garden. My dad always say you're never late unless you don't show up. So we appreciate you stopping by. Growing with Donnie, that's exactly my problem. My tiny balcony and everything is just flourishing and ripening, and you just don't want to pull them. That's exactly what I say. Like, I can't, but I know I need to start the green. So we're gonna be okay growing with Donnie. Like, we're gonna be okay. We'll be just fine. Everything is gonna happen when it's going to happen. I do. I feel like that so much now. Like, it's just looking gorgeous out there, and I'm just like, oh, what? But I mean, I don't know. I might have to pull out some pots or something. I just don't know. I just don't know. I call myself expanding this year, and I was like, you didn't expand enough. But that's okay. That's all right. We're gonna keep going. Yeah, that's how I feel. We need more food, not grass. Yeah, that's what I said. We don't need all this grass. Put some food. And what I would like to do, y'all, I've been looking at a greenhouse, and I'm like, where you go? I'll find somewhere to put it. I need a greenhouse so that I can start some stuff early too. Now that's just what I put in my mind. I'm like, yeah, you're gonna have to have a greenhouse. You really need a greenhouse because that's just gonna be a game changer. These are things that I tell myself, okay? I tell myself these things, y'all. Bought some starts, but I can't do a lot. Yeah, it gets expensive. Yes. So they start putting out starts. I'm waiting for them here. Some of the starts, they need to be pulled. And I'm waiting for them to do some of the fall starts as well. But yeah, it's coming to that time that I don't know. The months are going by really quick. It's already like we're halfway through August, y'all. Halfway through August. I don't know what is going on with the time, but it's going by really quick this year. So I just wanted to come on. Remember, y'all, let's build the soil. Let's grow. Let's really think about some of the things that we normally throw away. Think about some of those things and just ask yourself, could I use them in my garden in some way, form, or fashion? Some way or another, could I put this back into my garden to build my soil? Because that's all about building the soil. So, with that said, I am going to get off now, and I am going to I was going to say I'm going to pull out my grow rack. With vermicompost, do you need special worms? I use, okay, so it's, what is his name? They're called Red Wigglers, Yankee Sister, but it's also, is it Big Jim's Worm Farm? Let me look it up real quick, since I'm sitting in front of the computer. I am really pleased with him. He has different type of worms. I know the Red Wigglers are one that are for the vermicomposting, but it is another type of worm that he has on there that's good for composting, and they reproduce. They reproduce, and they make like the worm casting liquid as well. But I want to say it's Big Jim's worm. Don't we just love Google? Uncle, see, whether I get it right or not, I tell you, Google is great. Uncle Jim's Worm Farm is where I get my composting worms. Okay, so Red Wigglers, they have European night crawlers. And what I did, y'all, I'm big on reviews. I'm really glad that is a feature that they offer different websites. Like, because I'll be honest, on websites if I really like it. But I wasn't since I didn't at the time know anything about the worms, I really looked at the reviews to see what people had to say about each one. And so I went with the Red Wigglers, because what I will tell you is here, like in the heat of the summer, they kind of slow down just a little bit. So they're about to start like, and when I say just a little bit, I know it's hot in that vermicomposting bin. I know it's hot in there for them, and they're covered up, but they do like the dark. They do like the dark. But I just kind of read through the reviews, and I went with the Red Wigglers. But for your area, Yankee Sister, since you're northern, they may have like one that's good for north, because as I was reading, they have, like they kind of slow down when it's too hot, and they kind of slow down when it's too cold. But the different worms that they talked about, they kind of explained, if it would be better. So that's why I went with the Red Wigglers. But it's Uncle Jim's Worm Farm, and they're really good about shipping. They ship out at a certain time. Everything comes in, and they give you all of the instructions that you need to get started. Because I think like, and they're reasonable too. So you can get like 500 or 1,000, 2,000, like you can get a lot, and it tells you what to do to kind of get them acclimated. And so, yeah, so look up that website. Thank you so much, Yankee Sister, for the super chat. We always appreciate it, and we always appreciate your support all the time. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and let me see what I can do, y'all. It's gonna be something gardening inside, so it doesn't stop even when it's raining outside. Yeah, it's still raining. That's okay. I'll just bring the potting soil under the garage and try to get some things planted. But let's continue to build the soil, y'all. Let's continue to grow, and then just continue to share our ideas with each other. Again, we're on Monday at noon Eastern Standard Time, Fridays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So Friday is going to be 5. I'm going to go in there and fix all of the descriptions, y'all, because I don't know why I thought it was 3. But we still have 1 through 3 up. Today was 4. And then Friday is going to be 5. So you all be safe out there, and we will see you Friday. Make sure you download that free pest control guide. I will put that in the description on YouTube. Instagram is the second link in the bio. You all take care. Thank you so much for joining us today. Bye-bye.